Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Thursday, August 20th, 2015. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Well, in the equity markets, the day didn't start off too well. Over there in China, Shanghai down almost 3.5%. Down across the board. Hang Seng, Nikkei, over in Europe, DAX, CAC, FTSE, all down. And here in the USA, one of the worst days of the year. Market down over 350 points. Oil. Brent down again, over 1%. West Texas up a little bit, but still flirting near that $39 a barrel mark, a little bit above it, in the 40 range. It's a collapse going on. We can see it in front of us. Again, history before it happens. 2 weeks ago, we saw it coming. And this is how we opened up the Trends in the News broadcast on August 6th. We're going to make a forecast. I believe the equity markets will unravel before the end of this year, if not sooner. So I think things are really bad. They're having a difficult time propping it up. And I think the worst is coming soon. So here you have it. The Dow, poof, back down to the 17,000 level. The NASDAQ, below 5,000. Remember, the last time it was at 5,000 was in the year 2000, 15 years ago. Despite all this money pumping, all this dot-com buildup again, going down. And here's the commentary. I don't want to mention the person's name. On CNBC. After the markets closed, he comes on. You know, I'll tell you what's frustrating to everybody. Now, we're the everybody, right? He's speaking for all of us. I'll tell you what's frustrating for everybody. What exactly has changed in the last 48 hours? What's changed? Hey, hasn't the market been down 3 days in a row? Wasn't it down for 7 days in a row last week? The week before, adding up little up days here and there, but when you put it together, look what's going on. What exactly has changed in the last 48 hours in the world to see this kind of mini collapse? Let's call it a collapse in the marketplace. I'm baffled by it. I get up this morning at 5:30. China's way down. I say, ooh, European open is lousy. Futures are lousy. I send out a note. Anybody know what's going on? Can you give me a specific reason? Nobody gives me a reason. Just this vague sense, he goes like this, of gloom and doom. I'm sick of these people that when you say something that they don't like to hear, are they paid to be stupid, or does it just come naturally? But they make fun of people like me as a gloom and doomer when you call a spade a spade. A down market, a down market. How many times do we have to write what's going on with commodity prices? With currencies crashing around the world? China's weak. Oh yeah? Didn't know that. Wow. You mean all this phony pumping up of the markets and they still can't prop it up? He goes on. Brazil's down. Global markets. Yeah, Brazil's down. A whole bunch of them are down. Yeah. Here's a little list of them. Malaysia, Brazil, Egypt, China, Indonesia, South Korea, Turkey, Chile, Colombia, Peru, Bulgaria, Greece, Poland, Serbia, Slovenia, Ukraine, Ghana, Kenya, Morocco, Nigeria, Singapore, Taiwan, Thailand. How's that? Could you add that up? This vague, and we fear that this has been gripping the markets for the last several weeks, suddenly manifests itself in this notable little sell-off. Little sell-off, it's the summer, right? Light volume. Now, this is one of the heaviest trading days in years. It's real. And as I said throughout, since the 6th, I've never seen this happen in the summer. I'll tell you, there's a buying opportunity out there. Conditions for rate rise approaching, says Fed. And that's the other part of this. The Fed was vague in yesterday's statement. Most members of the Federal Open Market Committee, this is their quote, judged that the conditions for policy firming had not yet been achieved, but they noted that conditions were approaching that point, Fed staff wrote. How about that for?
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
It's horse shit. They're not going to raise them, as I read it. And that's why gold prices went up. Everything went down except gold prices, up almost $25. And the other good news that he was here in the States, jobless claims rise 4,000 to still low 277,000 last week. 277,000 people put in claims for unemployment, and they call that low. And the good news that should buoy the markets, home sales soar in July, the fastest pace since early 2007. Median home prices climbed 5.6% over the past 12 months. Just 28% of the purchases last month, however, went to first-time home buyers, a group that usually accounts for 40% of the sales. Despite the higher sales, more Americans are choosing to rent. Dun, da, da, da. TrendsJournal, summer 2008. It's just beginning to unravel. Big time, and here's what we wrote. Trend post to profit. One trend is clear. As the economy declines, so too will home ownership. Oh, by the way, home ownership, that's way down too. It's down to 63.4%, a 48-year low. So here's what we wrote. Single-family units will keep slumping, but multi-dwelling units will show strength. With credit tightening, wages falling, confidence dwindling, and houses depreciating, renting rather than buying will spur demand for multi-dwelling units. No one was saying that back then, and you can see where this trend line is going. Again, look across the board. They can't figure out what's going on. Maybe this guy didn't read the front page of the section C in today's Wall Street Journal. On the brink, oil nears $40 a mark. Oversupply, potential return of Iranian oil could put prices into the $30 range. Can't figure out what's going on in the markets? Commodity exporting countries hurt as prices and currencies plunge. South Africa. Platinum exports down 29% from last year. Against the dollar, down 14%. New Zealand, down 20% against the dollar. Whole milk exports down 68%. You can't figure out what's going on, huh? lay down over here on the couch. I need to talk to you. What kind of drugs are you on, man? Malaysia. The ringgit down 20% against the dollar. Palm oil exports down 26%. Brazil, against the dollar, down 32% this year. Iron ore exports off 56%. Canada, the dollar's down, the Canadian dollar against the US dollar 16%. Crude oil exports down 61%. Can't figure out what's going on? See if you can add this number up. $2 trillion from commodities lost in stock values. Could you add that number? What happened in the last 48 hours? I sent out a note. Nobody could give me the reason. All this gloom and doom. I'm tired of it, man. Canadian oil sands producers get squeezed. This is in the B section of the Financial Times. More than half the current oil sands production can't break even unless West Texas crude oil prices rise above $44. All right? We're at $40. And more than half of the current oil sands production can't break even. Can't figure it out. Don't know what's wrong over here. Maybe this one says something. Container traffic heads for slowdown. Major container shipping lines are slashing sailings on the world's busiest routes between Asia and Europe as lower growth in China and a sluggish Eurozone economy dampen international trade. I won't go on with more of the details. Yesterday I talked about what's going on in Savannah. Can't figure out what's going on, huh? But don't worry, because here's the kind of crap they like to feed you, like they just did over here in today's Financial Times. No crisis yet, but oil issues are spilling into Norway's economy. You don't think it's going to hit the people in Norway? This article is one piece of garbage after another trying to build confidence. Because when it hits home, the confidence is real. There is none. Energy slowdown hits one town hard. Talks about a number of towns in the Marcellus Shale area in Pennsylvania. Hot Rod's House of Barbecue used to have a line at the door for lunch, says owner Rodney Phillips. On a recent day, half the tables are empty. You can see what's going on. There's a lot going on. And my greatest concern is when all else fails, they take you to war. Watch for the war talk to start heating up. Watch for the people's mind to be taken away from the economy. And we have to understand that our government is out there protecting us, just like they did over there to Chelsea Manning. You know, Bradley Manning, now Chelsea Manning. He just got disciplined in prison. This is a major story in the Wall Street Journal. Chelsea Manning, the soldier convicted of leaking national security secrets, faces personal restrictions and the loss of privileges after the board found that he violated prison rules. And you know what he did? He was keeping prohibited items in her cell. You know what they were? Expired toothpaste and a copy of Vanity Fair magazine. What a bunch of disgusting lowlifes are running this nation and running the State Departments, the Pentagons, and the prisons. One loser after another in charge. And as things go down, they're going to clamp down. You better be good, Chelsea. You got a life in prison over there. No more toothpaste that's expired because it's a fact. You can make a toothpaste bomb out of it. Oh no, that was the bullshit the United States was selling us about the Sochi Olympics, wasn't it? Yeah, toothpaste bomb, huh? This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's Trends in the News.